I Think We're Alone Now is a 2018 film that is currently streaming on Canadian Netflix, and this was directed by a lady named Reed Morano. Reed Morano is a director and cinematographer from what I looked up, and I am familiar with the movie The Skeleton Twins, which she only did cinematography on. Everything that she has directed, I am not really familiar with, but she did some work on Billions, the TV show, and Kill Your Darlings, I think it's called, which I have heard of, but never seen and don't really know what it's about. But this is a film that I knew of for a while. This stars Peter Dinklage and Elle Fanning. And I'd heard of it when it came out, but very quickly kind of forgot about it and slipped my mind because I don't remember this film getting a whole ton of advertising. And I think it was a low budget film. It's certainly an independent film for sure. It just has that feel of it. And I don't think it got talked about too much, so I think it slipped off of a lot of people's radars. But it always seemed interesting. It's a drama, apocalyptic story kind of thing, though kind of the end of the world, and two lone survivors are kind of, living in this situation where everybody else has ceased to exist. So yeah, it's I checked it out. It's a cool film. I saw it on Netflix, Canadian Netflix anyway, and I was reminded of it, and I decided to check it out. And it's cool. It definitely does some interesting things with the kind of overplayed post-apocalyptic story kind of thing going on, which we have a slew of movies that deal with that topic. Basically, Peter Dinklage is living in this small town, and he basically everybody passes away, kind of thing. They kind of drop dead. So this plague or virus or something killed off basically the entire population, and Peter Dinklage, for some reason, was immune, and he lives, and he gives himself a job pretty much where he's cleaning up everybody's house after the residents have passed. So he'll go bury the bodies and clean out the garbage and all this, and he basically does this to keep himself busy. He lives now where he worked, which is a library, and he basically spends his days reading and, like I said, cleaning up properties. And then this girl shows up in his town. She gets into a car accident, and he finds her, her car banged up on a pole or something. And it's played by Elle Fanning. And he finds her, and then they kind of bond, and they start to get to know each other, kind of thing, and they clash somewhat, but then they start to warm up to each other. And that's for the first half of the movie. I'm not really going to go into the second half of the movie because it's going to dive into spoiler territories, but I will say that this film it plays a little bit Orwellian. It feels very Orwellian in its story and in its plot, and the reveals that start to happen, and kind of the direction that this film starts to go feels very George Orwell. So I'll leave it at that, and I'll let your imagination kind of soar and take some guesses on where this film goes by me saying that. They are not the only survivors in the movie, so there are some other survivors, and that plays off to where the film goes to. And there is a twist, especially in the climax, and it's a slow burn of a film for sure. The performances are fantastic, and I heard mixed reviews on some people predicting exactly where this film was going to go, and then others being surprised, like myself. I didn't guess anything really, so everything kind of took me by surprise. But then again, I'm kind of one of those people that every time I watch a movie, I don't really try to take guesses or try to figure out everything that's going on. I watch films in a sense where I just go for the ride, so I don't even think about the twists. I just let the twists happen, kind of thing. Maybe that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know. But yeah, the film looks good. It's well acted. Might be a little slow, you know, for some people because it definitely takes its time. It's a lot of heavy dialogue, a lot of slow camera shots, and a lot of monologue scenes. You really only have these two characters in the movie, a big portion of the movie. And outside of like I said, the George Orwell kind of theme, this film still is pretty basic and doesn't do a lot with a post-apocalyptic story other than what you would typically expect kind of thing. There's nobody around. Everybody, like Peter Dinklage is lonely. He runs into this girl. You know, she ends up being kind of like a distraction and a nuisance to him because he was so used to his routine. And he had this routine while like cleaning out these houses that kind of gave him purpose and a sense of like he's very detailed when it comes to his job cleaning out these houses and stuff like that. And then he finds Elle Fanning coming in as kind of a nuisance to his ordeal and new lifestyle kind of thing. But I liked how the characters kind of not evolve but reveal themselves, and it's it doesn't reinvent the wheel like I said, but if you like apocalyptic movies kind of thing, and you know, there's no more society. It's just two people kind of getting to know each other and carrying on a story that way. Then you might enjoy it, but I would say it's average. I liked the George Orwell kind of style and theme, but it's still an average post-apocalyptic film. So, and I can't really discuss too much in the second act, and especially towards the climax where it's not going to spoil things. So, like I said, it's just very Orwellian, and it's a slow burn. And if you're into that, go check it out. It's on Netflix for free, Canadian Netflix anyway. And if not, then just skip it because it's not going to win over any new fans for this type of cinema. So that's basically it. Subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you like to listen to my voice or if you like my film reviews. I'll be back with more soon, so stay tuned for those. Check out what's on the channel already. Stay tuned for what's coming. Until next time, have a good one. Take care and cheers.